What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This, once again, is Scott Porter back for a brand new HeroClix unboxing series for the Marvel crossover event from 2020, Empyre, dealing with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. Now, the Fantastic Four are back in the fold, as well as a lot of other heroes in the Marvel universe. At the center of it all are the Kree and the Skrull, and whether or not they can get past their old differences and unite to save the universe as well as their own races. Here is what we got. Boom. Okay, you see right there on the front, you got some Spider-Man, got some Wolverine, so it looks like we're dealing with a little more than just the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. We're going to have a lot of things to play with. I'm going to crack open this brick here in just a second and show you the outside of the booster and see what we can expect from this set. But before I do, I want to set the table for you all. We're not quite sure when this set is going to come out. I hope you all understand worldwide shipping industries are hustling every single day to get product out. Companies are waiting, and WizKids is not immune to that. We are hoping that pre-release will happen in early December and that this set will be in your hands by the holidays. I am stoked for this set. A lot of characters, and it's a very recent event. I think the set before this was a little bit of a throwback event, crossover event. This one's a little bit fresher, and it's dealing with a lot of modern versions of characters, so I'm hoping we're going to get some of this, as well as a lot of history. I mean, the Kree and the Skrull have been at each other's throats forever, and this particular series really brought to the fore what a lot of people might not have understood, how the Kree-Skrull War started so long ago. It deals with another race called the Kotati, and you see where they all fit in throughout the course of the storyline. HeroClix, who is half Kree, half Skrull, is now trying to broker peace between all the Kree and Skrull and unite those two particular empires into one. And when he does that, it upsets the apple cart a little bit throughout the universe. So there's ripples felt everywhere. So not only could we have Avengers and Fantastic Four, there was also an X-Men offshoot. There was also single heroes going on amazing quests of their own, as well as new characters being introduced. A brand new elder of the universe who we'd never seen before came from this particular series. So I am very excited to see what we could possibly have. To catch a little more hints, usually what we do here is we crack open our brick. We yank out a couple of boosters, and if you've never seen one of these unboxing series before, the way we do it is we attack 2 boosters a day, and we do this over the course of 5 days. And surprise, yes, we are coming to you on a Thursday. That is right. We're starting this video series on a Thursday because we want to take you all the way up to Thanksgiving in a little event that we're going to call Clix-giving. That's right. So Thursday, Friday, expect videos, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, next week, the holiday week, expect some videos too. WizKids was also very generous. They sent me some really cool stuff, some extra pieces from this set that people haven't seen yet. One in particular that they knew I would be interested in, they sent my way. I'm a huge Iceman fan. Spoilers for everyone. They also sent me this amazing Empyre miniatures game that we're going to handle. We're going to unbox. We've got the dice and tokens pack. So every single day we're going to do 2 boosters and then add in some more fun stuff. And if you stick around until next week, the holiday week, you might even see some stuff that we're going to have come out in the year 2021. That is right. There was a new set that was just announced recently, and I might have a couple of preview figures here for you from that set as well. So without further ado, let's take a peek at what we've got on the outside of each of these boosters themselves. All right, let's see. We've got Thor there. We've got Iron Man, of course. We've got the classic Avengers, Captain America there. Let's see. We've got HeroClix down there with some of his guard on the ship. On the front, of course, we have Spider-Man and Wolverine, who help out Franklin and Valeria in a little bit of a quest that happens throughout this event. They're told, of course, like they always are, by their parents to please go home, stay out of it, we got to keep you safe, and then they go get into trouble anyway because that's what they do. On the other side, oh yeah, this is a really cool moment in the story. Iron Man creates an Iron Man suit for Mr. Fantastic. That's what you're seeing there. This is Fantastic Four here, of course, but that's Mr. Fantastic and an awesome Iron Man suit, and I'll get to why that happens in a little bit. But here, this is surprising to me, and that, my friends, is a venomized version of Iceman, I believe, and I think there's a venomized Angel back there. I think we got a little venomized Rogue, so I'm very excited. You know, we saw a couple sets ago a venomized Doctor Strange, a venomized Rocket Raccoon. Those are actual, like, cover art that was done for, like, the Venom issues, but they don't necessarily cover Venom on the inside of the issues. They're just really cool art pieces, kind of like What If style. What if Doctor Strange was taken over by Venom? And this one had the X-Men on the cover, and it's akin to some other pieces we've seen. We've seen WizKids actually create their own Spider-Verse characters, which has been really cool. So I'm interested to see what they do for these characters that are based off just a piece of art itself. Because yes, there was a Venomverse event, and there were some of these characters in that event, but you'll see that they're not wearing the same costumes. They don't necessarily have the same powers. The Doctor Strange Venomized version that WizKids had wasn't necessarily the Venomized Doctor Strange that we saw in this Venomverse event that they had a couple of years ago. So really excited. And the fact that Iceman's there, he's my favorite character of all time. I'm so excited to get a new version of him. Now let's look at the back of the booster here. And on the back of the booster, you can usually find some clues as to what the chases may be. And yes, you are seeing that correctly. That is Thor, Herald of Galactus. So I don't know what the theme might be for the rest of the chases, because usually you can key off of the back of the box and you can kind of start guessing the theme, what you're going to have as the theme for all of the chases united. But maybe it's all Heralds. I mean, that would be kind of cool. But I don't know. Something's telling me that it's not just going to be all the Heralds. I don't know. I can't wait to see what else we have. That being said, if you haven't read Empyre, a brief rundown before I start opening these is the Fantastic Four are off in space, as they usually are. They run out of gas, basically, in the middle of nowhere, get picked up by some guy. They say, hey, you know, we've got money we can give you, so you can give us some gas, we can fly ourselves home. And he goes, no, credits are no longer accepted. The Kree-Skrull war is over. Now we work on a barter system. We're no longer using credits, galaxy-wide. What are you talking about? They go to this planet. This is this big, like, battle planet. Find out it's being run by the sister of the Grandmaster. Her name is the Profiteer, a brand new Elder of the Universe. And they start to figure out, oh, the Kree-Skrull war is completely over. What is going on? Why are they allied? And at the same time, the Avengers, Tony Stark wakes up out of a dream, a cold sweat, where he does some terrible things, and he feels called to the moon. He goes to the moon with the rest of the Avengers. They end up on the blue area of the moon, which is now this wonderful jungle, this awesome garden. They're walking through it. Captain America says, you know, I've been in a lot of jungles in my life, and even when it's quiet, it's never quiet. You can always hear bugs, some type of animal life. They end up finding out that this garden is created by a guy named Sequoia. He was the son of the swordsman, Jacques Duquesne, a long time ago, and Mantis, the celestial Madonna, if you will. A lot of you might know her from Guardians of the Galaxy, but she's been around for a long time. She was an Avenger before that. And he is a member of a race called the Kotati. And on the road to Empyre, you get to find out what happened between the Skrull and the Kree and the Kotati, why the Kree-Skrull war even exists in the first place. And you find out that the Skrulls, a long time ago, had this real peaceful planet. They had all this wonderful technology and all of these wonderful gifts, and they went out to share it with the universe. And they went to a planet. They found two races there, the Kree and the Kotati. The Kotati are plant people. They're literally living plants. They're like plant zombies. And the Kree, we all know. And they said, here, we're going to give you these gifts, and we want you to create something from it. And whoever creates the greatest thing can become a part of our kingdom. And the Kree build this big city, and the Katati build the garden. And the Skrulls are like, this garden is amazing. And the Kree get all pissed off, and they're like, but we built these big buildings, and that's just a flower. And they get pissed off, and then they start slaughtering everybody, and thus began the Kree-Skrull War. And you're seeing, for some reason, the Kree-Skrull War has ended. And you also meet a Katati character. So that's what begins Empyre. And as we unbox all of this, and I meet some of the characters or see some of the figures, I'll explain a little bit more. But it ends up that the Kree and the Skrull join together to come defeat the Katati once again. They think the Katati are going to be a great threat to the universe. They think there's nothing but revenge on their mind. Meanwhile, the Avengers know and love this kid, Sequoia. He spent some time, I think he grew up in New Jersey or something like that. And Thor, who happens to be with the Avengers, remembers him fondly, like a nephew almost. So the Avengers are going to protect Sequoia and the Katati. Meanwhile, the Fantastic Four make their way to Hulkling and the rest of the Kree and Skrull Armada, and they join forces with them. So the very first issue, you have the Avengers versus the Fantastic Four, and this kind of huge battle ensues, and then thus begins Empyre itself. There is a lot of surprises. There are a lot of, whenever you have Skrulls, people acting as other people. No spoilers just yet, but the day is saved eventually. But there are a lot of cool Avengers that are in it, a lot of great Fantastic Four stuff, because you basically have two teams of Fantastic Four happening all at the same time, and you have some offshoot books as well. So like I said, anything can be in this set. Without further ado, let's just get to opening. It is an interesting read. I would suggest reading it. It's kind of Dan Slott and Al Ewing, who Al Ewing is tops when it comes to galaxy-wide space stuff for Marvel. In my opinion, I really, really love the stuff that he does. And Dan Slott, of course, was writing Fantastic Four at the time. He has a great voice for some of those characters. And it's kind of the two of them writing this story all together. And I think it's worth a read, I think it is. It's crazy. And the twist that, spoiler, Sequoia ends up being a bad guy. The Katati does turn on everybody after the Avengers help him disable the Kree and Skrull Armadas. And, then the big battle really ensues. That everybody sees that coming. But then there's a lot of espionage and Skrulls spying and switching bodies and all that stuff that happens later. So, all right, let's see. This first booster, let's see what we got in here. We've got, oh, wait a minute. That's cool. We've got Kitty Pryde, but I think that's Kitty Pryde, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. From back in the day. Awesome. Okay, we've got, oh, cool. We've got Amadeus Cho, but rocking his name, Brawn. Explain to you a little why he's called Brawn. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Okay, so not all the heralds are going to be chases, because we have a herald here. This is Golden Oldie, otherwise known as Aunt May, as a herald of Galactus. I'm not lying to you all. Aunt May became a herald of Galactus, and I can't wait to tell you more about her story. That's awesome. That is somebody I absolutely did not expect to be in this set. So maybe we're going to get some really cool space stuff. We've got the Thing running in there. That looks like the Thing in his Guardians get up when he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then we've got Beast. Interesting that we've got Beast here. I mean, like I said, there is a X-Men Empyre storyline. The Katati control all plant life. They want to eradicate all living creatures outside of plants. They think that plants are peaceful and know best. And they want to eliminate all the rest of the life in the universe. And it starts messing with Krakoa's gates, because they're kind of plant-based biology, and the X-Men have to get involved. They call Horticulture, who is some of their enemies from Hickman's run on X-Men, and that whole storyline is a little bit nuts, and Beast is involved, but this looks like a different Beast altogether. This doesn't necessarily look like Beast from that run. This looks like Beast from Uncanny Avengers, actually, is what that outfit looks like. Which is pretty cool. So, without further ado, let's open this up. I know I've said without further ado like 20 times, so without further ado, I won't say without further ado anymore. Let's start with, man, this is a great pack. Let's start with the Thing, because he was the one that was most expected. So let's take a look at his card here. We've got the Thing, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, S.H.I.E.L.D., and Celebrity Keywords. He's set number 13. I'm pretty famous on Earth as a trait. Characters that start the game on your force and have Guardians gain Fantastic Four for this game, which is pretty cool. I think that's Guardians. I think that's what that symbol is. He's got some other powers there. He's got the Guardians team ability, where this character's combat values can't be modified by opposing characters' effects. That is awesome. He's also got the Fantastic Four team ability as well, so he can flip-flop those abilities for you. And you look at the back, pretty standard. He's got some charge, got some quake, toughness only, which makes sense for the character at the time, close combat expert, etc., etc. That's awesome. He's only 50 points, so it comes in kind of small. We've been seeing a lot of smaller point values lately. I wonder if we're going to see captains and allies in this set. I wonder if we're going to see, since I'm seeing X-Men here, the last set had the new rally die mechanic. I don't know if we're going to be seeing a lot of that, but we'll keep on just rolling here. And I mean, I literally don't know what to expect. Let's go with Brawn next. Now, this is Amadeus Cho, who you may know as the Genius Hulk. He's got Agents of Atlas, Avengers, Champions, Fantastic Four, Illuminati, S.H.I.E.L.D., Monster, Scientist. Set number 22. He's got a special attack power. Knock the powerhouse out. When Brawn hits until your next turn, each hit character gains immobile and modifies defense by -1. He's also got a special damage power, muscles and mirth, brains and brawn, close combat expert, and outwit. He is a team player. That means he's a wild card. That is awesome. Look at the back of the card here. Of course, he's in Champions as the name Brawn. Pretty solid dial. It's better than the Things, who we just saw, and he comes in at 75 points, just a little bit more than the Thing. Now, what happens with Amadeus Cho, he was the incredibly awesome Hulk and all that stuff for a while. He started to give in more to his Hulk side. There was a whole World War Hulk 2 thing that happened where he almost became completely rampaging Hulk. He gave himself completely up, and Amadeus is fighting the Hulk persona in his own head. He's really cutting loose on Earth after he goes to Sakaar. He comes back to Earth. He just is cutting loose. The Avengers are trying to put him down, and he ends up winning the day with the help of his sister and separating himself from the Hulk, but he breaks down crying and has the realization of everything that he's done and all the people that he's hurt and all the damage that he's caused. And he's arrested as he should be. And after he gets done, he goes, you know what? I'm no longer the Hulk. I'm just Amadeus Cho, and he chooses a different name. So Brawn. That is why he has the name Brawn. Okay, let's see. Moving right on to the next, we've got Beast. Yeah, I want to see what's up with this Beast here. Avengers, Illuminati, X-Factor, X-Men, Animal, and Scientist. Set number 11. Comes in at 55 points. Has Avengers and X-Men team abilities. And he's got a special attack power, throw me into the fray. When Beast is carried, if no other friendly character has been placed this turn after resolutions, he may make a close attack using his printed combat values. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Pym, he's talking about that. Let's turn it over. Yes, Secret Avengers, not Uncanny Avengers. I'm sorry I misspoke earlier. That book was actually really, really cool for a little while there. Had a solid team lineup. It was kind of after Norman Osborn was taken out of power, after Dark Reign, after all those things that happened, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hammer went away, and Captain America kind of put the trust of the world, like keeping them safe, keeping the world safe, all of those things that S.H.I.E.L.D. used to do, kind of into the hands of small groups of select heroes. And Secret Avengers basically had to go clean up all the messes that Hammer and Osborn had left behind. So you had some Avengers, you had a couple of X-Men, you had a very specifically picked team. You had Ant-Man, you had Wasp, you had Beast as well. So eventually Hawkeye came on board, and it was a pretty cool team. I love the dynamics within the book, so it's definitely worth giving a read. It wasn't an extremely long series. I think it might have been Marvel Now when it came out, but it's around that time. And yeah, this book came out in 2010, so go check it out. I think that's pretty cool that we got this particular Beast, the Secret Avengers. We didn't get a single villain in this booster, though, so I don't know what they're going to do for villains, because the Katati, it's just like a bunch of different, I don't know, just plant, like I said, like plant zombies. It's like all of Sequoia's like generals, like people call him Koi for short. And then there's, in one of the books, there's I think it's the X-Men one, which deals with Genosha and all these old mutant zombies that Scarlet Witch brings back. I'm telling you, this stuff is wild, guys. One of the like main characters in that is called Koi. Even the names just sound similar. They can't stuff a bunch of the Katati into here as villains. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of Skrulls, but I don't know where the rest of the villains are going to come from. It's going to be interesting to see as we go through. Let's go with Kitty Pryde here. Yes, we've got Kitty Pryde with Excalibur, Shield, X-Men, Martial Artist, and Spy. Set number 38 comes in at 35 points. She is unique. She does have a unique base. She's got a trait, Did You Forget About My Phasing Power? When Kitty Pryde uses Phasing Teleport until your next turn, she takes a maximum of 1 damage from attacks. I like that a lot. Electrical Field Disruption is a special movement power she has. Phasing Teleport. When Kitty Pryde uses it, after resolutions, give an action token to each opposing character with the armor, robot, or vehicle keyword that she moved through during the action. She's got Shield and X-Men team abilities. That's pretty standard stuff for her. You know, it was a long time, for a long time, the only thing Kitty would do would be like, walk through that computer that the bad guys are using to control everything. And she'd walk through it, then it'd fry, and then the bad guys would be like, no, our computers, it's how we run everything. I mean, this was back in the 80s when computers were like the size of a house. But yeah, I'm glad that she does way more than that now. But yes, this is from the Kitty Pryde Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. It came out in the late 90s. Pretty solid dial, able to token a bunch of people. Everybody is indomitable now, but at least it's limiting action choice, could possibly push some other characters. So selectively using her and her phasing ability could be actually pretty useful. She's got a low point cost. They felt the need to put a unique ring on her, so you know, I'm sure there are a lot of different uses that people will find for her. Now, last but not least, Golden Oldie. Before I show you the card, Golden Oldie, Aunt May, Herald of Galactus. A long time ago, I think there was like a Hostess ad campaign that happened with a bunch of the Marvel heroes, or like Twinkies or something like that. I don't know if Twinkies are Hostess or not, but for some reason Twinkies are sticking in my head. And then basically the writers would do these like satirical issues. It was like a what if story, but Galactus, you know, this guy here, he needs to feed, right? He's got to eat a planet to like fuel himself and continue walking, spacewalking. Because he never flies. He always, like, even in space, is always just, like, walking. I don't get it. Like, you barely see him, like, ever, like, really, you know, motoring through the cosmos. Anyway, he selects her, and she's like, I don't want any planets to get destroyed. I don't want anybody to be out of a home or anything. So she finds a guy, a space chef. I'm not kidding, folks. Finds a space chef who bakes new planet cake things, I don't know, like bakes planets basically. So it's like an endless supply. So Golden Oldie is like, here you go. Here's the chef guy. He's gonna make you a planet today. Eat your greens, Galactus, and you know thus ends the reign of terror that Galactus has on the entire Marvel universe. So let's take a look at what she does here. Golden Oldie, Spider-Man family, Cosmic and Herald, set number 18. It's pretty low. I didn't expect her to be uncommon like that. 45 is her set number. She's got matter manipulation, which is a trait, barrier as free, but only to generate 1 marker. Also has a special defense power, stay away from Peter, that stop with toughness, and cosmic wheat cakes for everyone is her special damage power. Power heal all other characters within 3 squares, 1 click. That doesn't even say that she needs to roll. And wow, she's actually pretty great. 45 points. And let's take a look at those key. Oh yeah, let's see. Franklin Richards, Aunt May team up with Galactus. Yeah, that's a crazy. This is nuts, guys. But I want to look back at her keywords: Spider-Man family, Cosmic, and Herald. Heralds don't usually have this low of point value. To have a 45-point Herald that can also be continuously healing other heralds, I mean, I know she becomes a target, but if you want to waste a bunch of your actions trying to take out my 45-point Aunt May Herald, then you go right ahead. We'll set something else up to punch back with. Really interesting figure, and I'm actually kind of excited that they made her. I did not expect that to happen at all. Let's see what other surprises we have in store here in the second booster. Oh man, that was a really interesting first booster. Basically didn't have anybody outside of Thing who was really involved in the main storyline, and that's not even his Fantastic Four get-up, that's his Guardians get-up, his slightly depowered get-up. Oh, what do we got here? Whenever you get bubble wrap in these things, you get excited because you're never quite sure what you got. Okay, ooh, nice. We got a generic Skrull Spy. Always good to have generic Skrulls in the house. We also got a generic Kree Soldier. That is really cool. We got, oh yes, all right. We got Hulkling's now husband, Wiccan, another member of the Young Avengers, brother to Speed, son of Scarlet Witch, and then we've got Captain America, and this sculpt and this paint job is actually really great. I'll show you a close-up when we do the cards there. And then inside the bubble wrap, as I gently unwrap because you're never sure what's in it or why they wrapped it. Maybe it's delicate, or maybe it's just awesome looking. Colossus here with Magic's Soul Sword, I think. Yo, that is sick. Okay, that is awesome. All right. That's a solid booster as well. Again, getting Wiccan, the Skrull generic, the Kree generic, those guys are obviously big time in this. Captain America is a focal point, so there we go. We got some of the heavy hitters from the actual storyline. Where am I going to start? I think we got to start with the generics here. And what I loved about them going into the history of the Kree and Skrull war is that you really start to understand the foot soldiers. We just throw them away all the time, but what they feel they're fighting for, usually just deal with the Supreme Intelligence and the Accusers, or like the high-level ranking Skrulls, the Empress or Princess Varanki who was like engineering the whole secret invasion thing. But the foot soldiers, you get a much better understanding of how this hatred for each other is, they're raised with it. They know no different. They have such an immense fear and hatred for each other, and you really see how that comes to pass within the pages of Empyre. So for me, being a longtime fan of Marvel, Empyre, that's what's the coolest thing about it, is seeing that history brought back into more recent storytelling, and just getting like a full rundown of what a lot of these infiltrators and these foot soldiers have been doing and why. And really getting a solid understanding of just how deep this history goes and this rivalry really is. So let's start with both of them. The Kree Soldier first. You got Kree Soldier, keywords, go figure. Ooh, sidekick. All right, there we go. So we are going to have some captains and sidekicks in here. Just basic powers. The shield team ability has always stood in for the Kree. If you're thinking why is their shield there, it just grants them that same power. It's not that they're in league with shield, it just gives them the same abilities. Look, they're 4 clicks long, a little bit of running shot, some energy shield deflection. The 11 attack on the opening click is actually really, really nice. And the fact that they are a sidekick means they will be empowered by some captain somewhere. And the Skrull Spy is also a sidekick. Got a special trait called Secret Invasion, sideline active for all characters with this trait. When an opposing character is KO'd, you may choose a Skrull Spy on your sideline and roll a d6. On a roll of 5 or 6, generate the chosen Skrull Spy from your sideline. On click number 2 in the square, the KO'd character last occupied. That's pretty cool. It's got Skrulls, Soldier, and Spy. Tinker Tailor as the keywords. And you can look on the back here. 4 clicks long. Now remember, they don't come in on that stealth click. They come in on click number 2. But it is kind of cool. You could say, that Captain America you were playing with, that Captain America is not actually a Captain America. It was one of my Skrulls impersonating him. And if you roll a 5 or a 6, you get to replace that fallen Captain America with a Skrull spy. That is pretty cool. I like that a lot. All right, let's move on to Captain America. I mean, Captain is in his name, but it doesn't look like he is actually a captain. Has Avengers and Soldier. Has a trait Avengers Assemble. Leadership at the beginning of the game. You may replace up to 4 other friendly standard characters with the same number of standard characters from your sideline on their starting clicks. All replacement and replaced characters must have the Avengers keyword and different names. The total points of the replacement characters can't exceed the total points of the replaced characters. We saw this mechanic in the last set using the mutants, actually, but look at that. 11 clicks long. Wow. Look, I love Steve Rogers, but that's 175 and 40. You get 11 clicks for 100 points. 11 clicks for 100 points. And not only that, you get to do this full team swap at the beginning of the game as long as you've got these figures on your sideline. And like I said, we saw this in the last set with X-Men and Brotherhood and or Hellfire Club. I think there's a few keywords that come into play with those. Short story long, he gets to reset your team depending on what you're facing on the other side of the table. But not only that, he's 11 clicks long. I love Steve Rogers. Super Soldier Serum all day long. But when you've got Thors out there that are 7 clicks long, like, this is a surprise to me. I did say I would show you this cap a little bit more close. I don't know if you can really get a good look. There's a strong, like, shine on his armor. He's got a lot of battle damage on it. I think it looks great. I think it looks really, really good. I am a fan of this particular suit that he is wearing here. You know what? I'll put the Kree and the Skrulls over here. I guess we'll count them as bad guys. That Captain America is disgusting. 100 clicks long. I mean, 100 points for an 11 click long dial is awesome. Okay, Wiccan is next. Boom. Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kree, Skrulls, Young Avengers, and Mystical. Has a special defense power, protection, energy shield deflection, adjacent friendly characters, modified defense by +1 if they can use a team ability that Wiccan can use, which happens to be Mystics and Team Player. So, interesting. All right. You flip it around onto the back here. Has that protection power all the way down. A lot of phasing there. And it's really sweet. In Empyre, Wiccan's not around for a little while. At some point, you know, Hulkling, who has a line where it really kind of tells you exactly how he came to be the emperor of this alliance. Like I said, he's half Kree, half Skrull, and he's gifted the Star Sword, which is named Excelsior as well. And once he gets this Star Sword, he says, I stood up and held a sword over my head and said, the war is over. And that's how it ended. And he's deemed to be the emperor of this alliance. But he's a young kid. And he's really kind of alone out there. I mean, he has some pursuers. And he, of course, has an accuser. And he has Super Skrull with him as kind of his advisory board. But he doesn't know any of these individuals from Adam. So he's kind of out there by himself. So there's a sweet moment in the middle of everything when things are really going nuts, where he goes and finds Teddy. And, Teddy goes and finds Wiccan. And it really allows everyone to know, especially in all this Skrull espionage that's going on, that Teddy is acting on his own, that Hulkling is doing this on his own volition, whether he's been, talked into it or not. But as long, Wiccan can always tell that it's actually Hulkling. It's not somebody else acting as though they are Hulkling. They see each other again. They haven't been around each other for a while. They end up getting married throughout this particular event as well. I think it's kind of funny. It's like they reunite, they take a minute, they go get married, they take another minute, like a little baby honeymoon, and then Hulkling's like, okay, back to the war. I did find it funny that they take the time out in the middle of it all, but they do. And so it's a really sweet moment. Wiccan's awesome. Love the character, and he plays a huge role in Empyre in a different way as well, because Super Skrull ends up turning something on called the Pyre, Pyre, which is utilizing a solar system's star to completely disintegrate planets. Kalert has used it before. He feels horrible about it, but one way or another, the Pyre in our solar system, meaning our sun in Sol, is set to become the Pyre, this murder machine, basically. And Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man, Wiccan, they all have to work together to figure out a way to prevent that from happening. And he's the one that gets them to right outside the sun. He teleports them there, has this protective shield around them so they can do their business and save the planet in a much different way than just stopping the plant people. So there's, like I said, it's wild. There's a lot going on. It's all confusing. Just read the book. Okay, Colossus. Let's take a look at him. He was the surprise of this booster for me. Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, X-Men, Armor, Future, Mystical, and Ruler keywords. He is a captain. Awesome. Because of the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. That's so cool. Set number 40, he comes in at 125 points. Jean Grey School of the Future is his trait. At the beginning of the game, choose another friendly standard character with the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning keyword. The chosen character is considered a sidekick for this game. Another trait, let us begin. Choose a friendly sidekick. The chosen sidekick has mystics until your next turn. Woo! That's a heck of a captain power. Whoever holds the Soul Sword is the ruler of Limbo. That is his special movement power. Ooh, yeah, he can carry 2 people or figures with phasing teleport. And when Colossus is given a move action after resolutions, he can make a close attack or use the X-Men team ability as free. Wow. Let's take a look at the back here. I love it. He's got Mystics and X-Men. A Colossus with Mystics. You're going to have a hard enough time doing the damage. He's got probability control. He's got a 19 defense on that opening click. He's got that phasing power. Whew. I mean, like I said, you're going to have hard enough time hitting him, but then you're going to take damage. And if he's got a bunch of sidekicks on his team, they're all going to be running around with Mystics, just tying you up. And then you've got to hit them, and you've got to take clicks back. I mean, that's pretty nasty. I did not expect this figure to be in the set. It is pretty cool. Magic is involved in the X-Men Empyre side storyline. So is Jamie Madrox, and that's another one of my favorite characters. So maybe we'll get a new Madrox here. There are a few other characters. Nightcrawler is pretty important in that. Beast is important. We saw him, but not a version from that book. There are a few other characters that are really important in that team. Magneto only allows 4 X-Men to set foot on ground in Genosha. And like I said, the X-Men storyline kind of revolves around Scarlet Witch has raised 16 million Marvel mutant zombies on the island of Genosha. She's trying to right the wrongs of the House of M and the No More Mutants of it all. And she brings Explodey Boy back to life, that's a real name of a mutant. That's why they killed them all, because they ran out of names for Explodey Boy. Come on. But she brings back this kid, Explodey Boy, and he just explodes a lot, and but they're all zombies. And Explodey Boy turns to the Katati, because the Katati go to Genosha because they're there's all these weird life readings. Let's see if we can't turn them into our plant zombies. And Explodey Boy looks at him and he goes, "You made a mistake coming here, because there are 16 million mutant zombies here, and 2 million of us are vegetarians." And then he attacks them. It's a great line. It's a wacky story. But anyway, that ends our boosters for today. But we are going to have a couple of bonus items real quick before I say goodbye and get out of your hair. We are going to open this Dice and Tokens pack today. I think it's pretty rad. I guess I should have showed you one more time what we're looking at here. I'll do a little slide under here for you guys. You've got Iron Man and Thor, Captain America, Doctor Strange. That's Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, who has a dope moment in Empyre, and that's Black Panther, who also has just a boss moment in the story. I'm going to crack these open because on the back of the tokens, you usually see bystanders from the set, and we can get some more hints as to what we might be seeing in this particular set. So on the back of Iron Man, Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? On the back of Iron Man, we have Jeff the Land Shark. Oh yes. If you don't know who Jeff the Land Shark is, I will tell you in just a moment. We've got an Ultron drone. Ooh, getting a little Ultron action, maybe a little Pym action now. We got a Kotati Warrior. Okay. Another Ultron drone. Another Kotati Warrior. Another Ultron drone. Holy heck, yeah. We're definitely getting an Ultron. I don't know what version of it. But we also have the Secret Avengers, so maybe some Pym action. That could be cool. And then, of course, the dice. I'll toss them in here. The 6s are the Avengers insignias. Since it's Avengers Fantastic Four, I thought maybe they'd also have the Fantastic Four on there, but they don't. It's just the 4 with dimples. So that is the dice and tokens pack. And you know what? I'm going to show one of these extra figures. Since we already got Kitty Pryde, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think you guys more than deserve to see another figure that is in the set that apparently is not in my brick. It is Wolverine, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll set him here so you can get a good look at his sculpt. Yep. All right, and we'll take a look at his card as well. Wolverine, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, if you never read these couple of issues way back in the day, they're from a long time ago, but they're pretty cool. He's got S.H.I.E.L.D., X-Men, and Spy keywords. He's set number 52. Comes in at 50 points. He's got tracking the target as a trait. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character as Wolverine's mark. Whenever that character moves after resolutions, you may move Wolverine up to 2 squares. If Wolverine's mark is KO'd, choose a different opposing character to be a new mark. Silently stalking is another trait. Wolverine can't be targeted until he has made an attack this game or is adjacent to his mark. And one last trait, I heal. Do you, when Wolverine hits after resolutions, he may use regeneration as free. So upon hitting, he starts getting some clicks back. Of course, he has the S.H.I.E.L.D. team ability. Let's take a look at the back of his card. Brutal stats. 12s for the first 4 clicks. Exploit and blades on the first 3 of them. Flurry blades on the back half of the dial. Remember, he's regenerating, and yes, of course, that is from a what if issue from back in the day. And yeah, that is pretty cool. I gotta say thank you to WizKids for sending out a couple of extra pieces. They know that you guys are just chomping at the bit for the next set to come out, and they are busting their humps to make sure that you get this set, Empyre, in your hands as soon as they possibly can. Like I said, I hope that we are going to have a pre-release in early December, and the actual release of this will happen before the big holiday, so everybody can have some holiday cheer in their life in December. Get these figures in your hands, and I know that some places are playing in person again. There's still people playing online as well, and we could start playing with these pieces right away. This storyline is pretty massive. It's pretty recent. We're seeing some cool new versions of characters like Braun, who's in Champions, which is running right now. The Guardians of the Galaxy thing is from a couple years ago. And then we got Golden Oldie from, I mean, way back when. So we're running the gamut as far as Marvel history all the way up into current day. And I don't really remember having a set this close to a big crossover event, like release this close to it. We usually have a little bit more time away, but this was the big Marvel event in 2020, and I'm excited to see what else we get from it tomorrow. So I want to say thank you to WizKids, first and foremost, for sending this out to me, getting this in my hands, and allowing me to share so much of the set with you guys a little bit early. I want to say thank you to you all for watching, and I want to know in the comments below, what character are you most excited to get from this particular storyline? If anybody says Swordsman Jacques Duquesne, I'm not going to believe you. But any other character that you're excited to see kind of a newer version of, I know She-Hulk is nuts in this storyline. But let me know in the comments below if there's any particular character from this particular storyline that you really, really want to see WizKids twist on. Gotta say thank you to Hyper RPG Studios, where I'm shooting right now in beautiful Studio City, California, for always keeping it down and making me look good. If you've never gone to their Twitch channel or the YouTube channel, make sure you go and check them out. A ton of awesome gaming content, including archived episodes of a little HeroClix show called Indomitable that you can find on their YouTube channel. I will be back tomorrow with more HeroClix Marvel Empyre unboxing goodness for you all. And until I see you then, may all your rolls be critical hits.